Welcome to Blaseball Know Your Teams, the Wild Low division. Wild Low was formed at the end of Season 5, after the High Filter Decree passed in the Season 4 election. The divisions were created by dividing the teams based on their standing that season. Wild Low was formed with the teams placed 16th to 20th. Despite several divisional swap blessings being available, the original lineup remains the same. Wild Low is the only division for which this is true. The division was then blessed with the arrival of the Ohio Worms in Season 12 during the dissension. Let's start with the Houston Spies. The Spies Blaseball uniform requires players to wear at least one trench coat and hat at all times, but more are advisable. As other teams are unable to remember or describe how they got to an undisclosed location to play, the only information we have about the stadium is that all refreshments are free. Due to the necessity of submitting a planning application, we were also able to discover that fans installed big buckets, which awards an extra run for any home run hit into them, and a peanut mister to cure peanut allergies. The Spies have the Moon Arcana, which has been unseen during the seasonal draws so far. They have 8 original players and have faced 4 incinerations. The Spies have made 2 postseason appearances, but prefer to fly under the radar. In order to increase the mystery around the team, fans like to chant, "We could be you, we could be me." Moving on to Miami Dailies. The Miami International Arena was built on top of the Miami Beach Convention Center, moving the Dailies home base out of a nearby Toys R Us. Fans have reported that there is always music playing, and should you venture into the toilets, you will find no shortage of mirrored surfaces. To further enhance the party, fans installed big buckets, and also made the stadium psychoacoustic, allowing them to echo opponents' modifications during certain weathers. The team possessed the Star Arcana, which hasn't been in a draw, but does suit them down to the ground. They still have 6 original players, but have faced 5 incinerations. Despite being the only original team in the ILB to never have made a postseason appearance, even as a wild card, the Dailies are in it for the fun of the sport, not the so-called success of a championship title. Fans back this up with one of their favourite chants, DALE, we just want a party. To honour this commitment, the Dailies were awarded the Life of the Party modifier in Season 6, meaning the team gained 10% more from party time stat boosts. Then, in Season 7, the whole team discovered their blood type had turned electric, giving them the ability to zap away strikes. And now, the Hellmouth Sunbeams. Originally based in Moab, the Sunbeams found themselves dramatically relocated when the Hellmouth opened up beneath them. As such, their stadium, the Solarium, has the longest vertical distance between bases, due to the stadium being partially sunk. Despite having a community college in the area, fans are very insistent on people not visiting the Hellmouth, suggesting they go literally anywhere else. The precarious position of the stadium did not deter renovations, as the fans chose to install solar panels, which prevents the first activation of Sun 2, instead using those runs for the next game, and also made the Solarium psychoacoustic. Their Arcana the Hanged Man appeared in the Season 12 draw as the second card, but this did not appear to affect the team at all. They still have 6 of their original lineup and have suffered 4 incinerations. Despite only having 1 championship to their name, the Sunbeams are the longest running champions, due to the convenient placement of the Grand Siesta. They have made 4 other postseason appearances and were one of the first 2 wildcard picks. During the Season 8 election, the team gained base instincts, changing the team blood type to base. The benefits of this mean that players sometimes go straight past first base when drawing a walk. Next are the Boston Flowers. Boston Garden is largely overgrown and very difficult to play in. It is thought that new team players are grown from plants that came into contact with the ashes of an incinerated player. The Flowers started the Memorial Bat Forest in their stadium, where the bats of players who have left Blaseball are planted. They very generously opened it to the entire ILB, meaning all players will have a memorial site if they so wish. Fans chose to add solar panels to the garden, possibly a reference to the process of photosynthesis, and also chose to make it psychoacoustic. The team's Arcana the Empress was the final card of the Season 14 draw, and as such, one of their players gained the Receiver modification. The Flowers have 5 of their original players, but have suffered through 7 incinerations, the second highest count in the ILB. Following the loss of some of their most beloved players, and an election season that worked against them, the Flowers have been dubbed the unluckiest team in Blaseball. Fans have embraced that in good humour, with their popular chant, "It could be worse!" Despite their bad luck, they have made a respectable 6 post-season appearances, and decided to show that they were well-rounded by also setting a party time record in Season 7, and then hosted a tea party for the rest of the ILB. The Flowers did gain the Growth modifier in Season 8, meaning they play better as the season goes on, with up to a 5% global boost by the end. The LA Unlimited Tacos. The Alpasta Memorial Park sits in the middle of a 6-stop-sign junction in Beverly Hills. Since the Grand Slam, when space-time tore over Los Angeles, it has folded in on itself, meaning that other teams need a guide to get to the playing field. During renovations, fans decided to install big buckets and make the stadium psychoacoustic. The team have the Arcana the Chariot, which has not yet been part of a draw. They do have 6 of their original team, and have only faced 1 incineration, but did have 6 shelled players stolen and never replaced. Until Season 6, the Tacos were unquestionably the worst team in the ILB, and set a party time record in Season 5. However, since then, they have made 5 post-season appearances, even winning the Wild League title in Season 13. The Tacos gained Sundialed in Season 13, which boosts a random player on the team by 1% when Sun 2 is activated. They added to this with Glazed in Season 14, which means anyone who owns a donut will gain a double payout when the Tacos activate Sun 2. This team are known across the ILB, both for events that happen to them and schemes that they've drawn up, such as the Grand Slam, the Wyatt Masoning, and Snacrifice. They also hold gameplay fame with the record for the most runs scored in a single game. We close out the division with the Ohio Worms. As they only joined the ILB in Season 12, information on the Worms is still being dug up. During Season 14, fans chose to make the wormholes psychoacoustic, and voted to increase the probability of black hole weather at their home games. They share the Arcana the Fool with 3 other teams, having not been in the ILB when the Arcana were assigned. This appeared in the Season 14 draw, but held the Crab's emblem, so had no effect on the Worms. Despite only playing in 2 seasons, the Worms have already suffered an incineration, but are holding on to 10 of their original players. The team have 4 championships to their name, but these were not witnessed in the ILB. They decided to get down to business in Season 13, setting a new party time record, knocking a whole 6 days off the standing record. When they arrived in Season 12, they already had the modification Bottom Dweller, which boosts the team by up to 5% every time they finish bottom of their division. They also gained Jam Packed in Season 14, which awards a double payout to all owners of wet pretzels if the Worms activate Black Hole. When originally building their ballparks, every team bar the Worms and the Dailies chose the same base. There are only 3 of the available ballpark modifiers across the division, and only the Spies chose not to make their stadium psychoacoustic. Every stadium has at least 1 modifier. The Spies are also the only team in the division without a team modifier, whilst half the division have 2 each. And that is the Wild Low division. Join me for more Blaseball fun and facts soon, but until then, rejoice, play ball.